Good morning and welcome back to Friday here on Gaming with ADHD, where I have just gotten off work and I figured, you know what, I need to do some more. I didn't do my live stream. It's Friday. Everybody likes hanging out on Friday, and so we're gonna do that, even though probably a little later than I normally start, but regardless, it's been a decent week. Doctor's appointments, new air conditioner installed in the house, more insulation installed in the house, sleeping like absolute trash. What else? Regardless, it was a lot of everything, but overall it's been pretty good. So I'm kind of excited. But anyways, and good morning, Hungar. How are you, my friend? I am doing better, sort of. Well, actually, I'm about the same. But the doctor's appointment went well-ish. To say the least. I have my hernia issue. So I go in and we talk about the hernia thing for a minute, and then he proceeds to basically, he wasn't yelling, but he basically yelled at me for like 10 minutes because I'm over 40 and I have not yet gotten a colonoscopy. And I have never been so hard sold on a medical procedure before in my life, and I wanted to punch him in the face. I did not, but man, did I want to. It was an absolute. It was so awkward. Anyhow, but it was at least good to, get told, hey, this is easy, we can take care of this. 95% of people, blah, 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 no big deal, don't have to have like actual surgery, so it's all good. Anyhow, all right, you know what? I should probably I can do all of that yapping while I'm painting stuff. So how about we switch over so I can paint stuff? Anyhow. So, since you are the only one here, Hungar, looks like I'm going to paint some Battletech for you. And I need to do a tiny little bit amount of touch-up on the base, because I haven't touched Hungar since last Friday. I have to do a tiny little bit of touch-up on Hungar's base. But I'll let you look at him, and if you give me the okay, then I will put both of your miniatures in the mail this weekend. And oh my gosh, we got a bear in chat. Everybody, be careful. He's a bear. I probably should go to bed, but I am not sleepy. So I'm not gonna. Anyhow, all right, so let's zoom the camera in. All right, so like I said, Hungar, I need to touch up the base, just around there on the lip, get some black. But I actually really like how that came out, just with that flesh wash. It's very, very striated because it was an FDM printer and that's how they come out. But I still think it looks pretty good. So with that said, Hungar, are you happy with the status of the miniature? Because if so, then I'm going to toss it in the mail tomorrow. So but I am glad that you like it. I've already got your address, so that's easy. I don't remember why I changed it. I decided to just put on the rock music that they've got in the background. Actually, I think it was because you complained that you would come in and that the music would put you to sleep. I'm like, well, I don't want anyone to... I mean, I don't mind. You know, if this helps you go to sleep, I mean, that's good. That, or it was like... just... I wanted something different for whatever I was painting at the time. Well, I haven't had any complaints about the rock music, so I've just left it. But, I mean, let's be honest. I basically took almost a month off from doing paint streams anyways. And I'm still not even feeling great. I need to get back into the groove. All right. All right. I've got 3 mechs started. All right. So I've got the Axeman, the Cataphract, and the Night Star. Which one should I work on? Just throw it in chat. You can even say green, gray, or red. I think we all need an adult. That's why we're in this chat. At least if I'm streaming while painting, I'm staying out of trouble, right? Theoretically? Maybe? Cataphract. All right. I suppose I should put my microphone where y'all can hear me. Is that better? All right. So... paint the Frankenmech? I don't think I have the Frankenmech. Then I don't like the Frankenmech. Thing's horrible. Ugh, you and me both, Dr. Death. Adulting sucks. Alright, so... Alright, this one's pretty easy. Alright, so what I did... Actually, here, let me show the screen so you all know what I'm trying to work on. So this is more or less the paint job. I've already got the base color. Then you'll notice here it's got these yellow splotches, but it's got some black outlines. And so that's why there's those black spots on the mech. I'm going to skip doing this little checkerboard pattern because it's like super tiny and kind of in the corner. Yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to paint some yellow over
I just noticed these other little spots. That's weird. There's a bunch of little details like these numbers, like
the actual pieces. So like that, right? Oh, I guess I should take that off. So like there's supposed to be some hazard stripes right here. Too tiny to even see anything. The little checkerboard would be there. Again, too tiny to see anything. No way in heck am I going to try and paint numbers right there. So this is going to end up being like a super simple design. I'm actually kind of okay with it. All right, so we need a yellow. All right, let's try this Reaper high density golden yellow. Basically, I'm going to fill in those splotches, the black splotches with the yellow, and kind of shoot for like an outline. Hey, 6 months, Hunger. Thank you so much. And not that I try to be an obnoxious shill about it, but oh dang it, I threw that away yesterday. If you would like to be a member on the channel, any month where I have 10 subscribers or more, I will paint and send you a miniature. But hopefully not as slow as I've been at doing it the last couple. So, anyways. The tip jar is just $2 a month, no obligation, but it is always appreciated. All right, so it looks like there's the splotch kind of like overlaps, leaves sort of like a line. Usually seems to be towards the top, so we're going to do that. Yeah, Dr. Death, I have gotten 0 notice on my Kickstarter shipping either. So that's great. Definitely gonna have to come back with a couple of layers. I like that. That actually that actually looks pretty good. And actually, yeah, apparently everyone is interested in BattleTech over Star Wars Shatterpoint. So I do want to. I've been wanting to tell this story for like ever. And kind of explain why I put Star Wars Shatterpoint up there. So, Kim has me slowly working on cleaning out the garage, and it's horrible, and I don't like it. But I've been getting rid of a lot of stuff, and we have
we have like the craziest used bookstore here in town. These people take almost anything. It's called
Bookman's Entertainment Exchange.
And like they will take books, they will take CDs, they'll take DVDs, they'll take Blu-ray, they'll take Laserdisc, they'll take VHS, they'll take cassette tapes, they'll take eight tracks, maybe, I don't know, probably. They'll take comic books, they'll take role-playing games, they'll take board games, they'll take toys, they'll take magazines, old typewriters. I think they have a website, but they don't have like anything listed for sale. I think it's called Bookman's Entertainment Exchange. Like when I was playing World of Warcraft, I would buy the collector's editions of World of Warcraft. And so I bought them and I used all the CD keys. But I still had the collector boxes. Now, like each one has like different buyers, so they don't always take your stuff. But there's two here in the Phoenix area, so I'll usually like go to one, like the far one, and then on my way home I'll go to the closer one, and then I'll come home. So it's like take the stuff to one, whatever they don't take, I'll take to the second one. Sometimes I just go to the one that's close to me, whatever. And I've just been slowly getting rid of stuff, but I was up to like at one point I was up to like $500 in credit, and then the credit can be used towards literally anything in the store. And then and so but like I just hold on to it, and if I see something that interests me, then I have credit and I can use it. And so I've gotten some fun purchases recently, and I've not covered any of it. Mostly because I've been bad about making videos and whatnot. But anyways, but so like I've got some videos that I'm gonna come out with, but like but it's also stuff that's just been like fun, and it's like, okay, that's like or it's sparked a memory. Like I'm not gonna tell the story now, but like I found an AD&D 2nd edition monstrous compendium binder in actually very good condition, and with 5 sets of pages in it, so like sets 1 through 5. And then, like, separately, there were 2 extra sets. And I actually have a fun story about it. At least it's fun to me. So I had to credit. Yoink. just didn't even think about it. Just grabbed it. And then
I was in there Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday after my doctor's appointment. And I saw the TSR board game Dragon Strike, and I'd watched a video on it last year from Captain Courageous, and he actually gave the thing a good review. So I'm like, you know what, this would be fun to look at and try playing. And so I grabbed it. But then also, so like, you know, because of the poll, I was in there one day and they had Star Wars Shatterpoint. And the guy said I could open it and take a look at it. So I was like, okay. Now, for those who aren't familiar, basically it's like 40 millimeter scale Star Wars figures. So they're very large. But then it's also like a small skirmish game. So you'll have like 6 to 8 models per side. In my understanding, it's very similar to Marvel Crisis Protocol. But anyways, but it was unpunched. You know, figure still on the sprue. Terrain still on the sprue. Everything intact. And they wanted $80 for it. The retail cost on the core box is $160. I'm like, done. Well, I get it home, and of course I'm looking at it, so it won't be a true unboxing when I do it. But I'm looking through it, and it turns out that not only is it the core box essentially unopened. Now, like, the key heroes from the core box are Ahsoka, Anakin, Asajj Ventress, I think it is, and Lord Maul, Darth Maul. Anyway, but then whoever had turned it in also included the models for like a couple extra sets for Obi-Wan and some clone troopers, and then Count Dooku and some battle droids. And those are like $50 a piece. And then there was also an extra set of dice, which is like $15. So it was like almost $300 worth of stuff, and it was $80 credit. And so it was like the best find so far. Although the Monstrous Compendium is pretty good as well. But you'll have to wait for that story when I do a Flashback Friday episode. I haven't done one of those in a long time. I probably could have recorded it last night, but I was distracted. I was distracted playing Tetris on my Switch. And by Tetris, I mean Game Boy Tetris from 1990 whatever. Which was crazy because so it's done through this emulator on the Switch. And they gave it a green screen. So it even looks like the old school Game Boy.
It's hilarious. Oh, I'm still gonna have. I'm using their actually, I don't even think they make the HD paints anymore from Reaper. But I'm using the HD paints, which is supposed to be like extra thick. And the yellow still goes on thin. And so I'm still going to have to go back over with like 3 coats to get this to look right. Anyways, so that was fun. I've also got... I'm trying to think of what else. Actually, I don't think I picked up anything else. I told Bear I'd go and look for some Star Trek books. I think there's a couple of things that he's looking for. We'll see. Anyhow, but yeah, it's crazy, and I actually try to stop it, like, especially because I've got credit burning a hole in my pocket. I try to stop in like once a week, just because there's always new stuff. Now, there's a lot of stuff that just sits there and rots, which is kind of sad. Like, depending on the item. Have a great day, Hungar. Thanks for hanging out, man. Like, it's just kind of interesting because, like, there's stuff that I've seen there for years. Actually, there was one. I was at one store. So I've got like a big stack of Legend of the Five Rings 4th edition. And I'm missing one of the Element books. And they had it there, but it was like $80 just for the one book, and it was in good condition. And they also had the Great Clans book, which I also don't have. And so I'm like, you know what? I might be able to sell this whole collection at a decent amount, but it would be better if I could have those books. I'd been there on Saturday and they were there. I went back on Monday and they were gone. Oh, I was so mad. And they'd been sitting in this case for over 2 years. Oh, it's so frustrating. So it is definitely one of those things where you don't know what they're going to have, and you don't know if it'll be there when you get back. But then, like, when I picked up Dragon Strike the other day, like, they had, like, somebody had brought in just a big stack of old school D&D. And there was one point where somebody had brought in this massive stack of FOSSA Star Trek. So I grabbed a couple of things out of there. Oh, that was actually one fun thing to find. So, and actually it goes back to it. It was back in like March when all the Star Trek stuff had been brought in. And they had the Starship Construction Manual. And I kind of have so I mean, obviously I have an itch to play all sorts of things and just never do for whatever variety of reasons. And so I remember playing the Star Trek miniatures game from FASA. But I only ever played it a few times. And so it's just like, you know what? I'd like to find that and try it again. So I grabbed the construction manual. But then while I was cleaning out the garage, I found my Star Trek, the FASA Star Trek. It's the Star Trek 3 Starship Combat game. That's what it is. But I found that while I was cleaning the garage. And what was really cool is that it had the ships of the Federation. So I need to get like ships of the Romulan and like ships of the Klingon Empire or something, whatever they're called. Just so I can put a good quote-unquote play set together. But yeah, it's just fun and kind of crazy what you can find there. So eventually I will do videos on all of it. Eventually I might even get to play some of those. We'll have to see. So, if anyone is still out there, I will pose a question to the chat. What is something that if you saw it at the bookstore, or at the used bookstore, and we're going to say at a good price, not like at any price, like normally this thing goes for $500, but they've got kind of a slightly dented copy that I would tolerate. You know, what would be the thing that if you saw it, you would pick it up? Just almost a no questions asked. Like, space in the house isn't a problem. Wife, husband, roommate, whatever, won't get upset for you bringing it home. You can still eat. Yeah, no, I know that they have them, Dr. Death. I'm just saying I don't have them. Is the catch. And I am going to get them. And it's Mundo. Good morning. Something is strange.
Sorry, just fussing with the... you know what? I think that's what it is. Why is this... Nope, colors still look weird.
Yeah, no, right. I'll have to go to eBay for them. But that is like I'm not in a rush to play Star Trek, so like waiting for them to kind of make an appearance isn't necessarily out of the realm of possibility either. Let's try something. All right, so the metal bits all have like kind of a brownish tint to them, so I'm gonna try mixing some of this copper and the silver together, see what the color looks like. And I think I'm gonna do that instead of like the normal metallic color. Just because that's kind of what it looks like to me. Yay, old dry paint. I like dropper bottles because I can measure it out exactly. Unless, of course, the paint is old and dry and clogged up the tip, and you just get out whatever you get out. Yeah, Dr. Death, my wife, is literally the same. She thinks I have too many books. She's probably not wrong. But thanks to the used bookstore, I've been getting rid of a bunch, so she's not super upset. Even the stuff that I've been bringing back in, like, she's annoyed. But she could be much more annoyed. So I'm calling that a win. Good morning, Steven. That is not enough copper. I'm working on Romano Liao's Cataphract. Because that's what I'm working on. I don't even have a good reason. This is because that one. Sort of, Dr. Death. I'm going. I want. All right, give me a second, and I'll put the picture back up.
So like right in here, it's metallic. Like all these little bits, they're all metallic. But they've, instead of like a blackened steel or something like that, they've all got kind of like a rusty steel look to them. So
I'm sort of going... I'm experimenting with that copper. Like, that sort of looks right. I mean, it looks a little more like purple. But I don't have a rust brown. Well, I have some rust brown, but it's very, very orange. And that doesn't look very orange to me. It looks, like I said, it, like, for lack of a better way to put it, it's kind of like a brown. Well, anyway, this is what I'm gonna try. Like, let's be honest. It's a cataphract. It's probably not coming to the table anytime soon, especially because it's Liao. Nobody likes Liao. Even Max Liao, who's not here, which is fine. He knows Liao kind of sucks. Let me rephrase that. Really sucks. But you all know how I do this. If I have the mech and and it's listed in Legends, then I try to do my best impression of the Legends scheme. And yes, Romano is crazy. But they gave her an official paint scheme in Legends. So, that's what we're painting. Oh, and that's another video that I need to do. But I need to get a couple things first. Like, I mean, I'm assuming you all have seen the videos get posted for Hextech. Which is some nice stuff. But so I know I've mentioned my game table. That my son built for me. And essentially the mech scale map game that we're gonna play. Because all the Hextech stuff, the big problem with Hextech is it's all mech scale. It's not map scale. Which looks great on the table with your mechs, but it's all wrong for map play. Like Hextech, honestly, I would have to say Hextech is more appropriate for games of Alpha Strike over games of BattleTech. Which kind of sucks. But it could be worse. All right, this looks wrong, but I have a feeling when I wash it, it'll come out okay. If not, we can just chalk it up to a mistake. Anyways, but so, like, for like a month, I was just running my 3D printer. Because I have the print files to make more of the Hextech line. And so I've got like all the stuff for an airbase. I've got hills coming out from the hills and other awkward spots. I've got I've got a storage tote. Those like massive like Costco black and yellow storage totes. Full of terrain. Like completely full. I've got Hextech roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads, but I got them. So I want to do a video of... Oh, anyways. So I forgot the point that I was going to do. Hey, Silent Mouse. Silent Mouse. Discord. Send me your address. I will be going to the post office tomorrow to send out your mech. I just need to take some pictures. Anyways, so what I'm going to do so that I can have my mech scale game. All right, that's basically done. A friend of mine does manufacturer level support for retailers of large format printers. So like 6-foot banners, 6 foot wide, thick, whatever banners. So I reached out to my brother-in-law, who does video game art, and I'm like, okay, I didn't want him to do the whole thing. I can use Corel Draw and make hexes and make a map. But what I needed was just like some generic like textures. So like grass or sand or snow, whatever. Anyway. And so he made me a couple of those. And so then I could like tile that all together and then give it to my friend who has the access to the large format printer So I'm going to print some 3-foot by 6-foot vinyl hex maps that have nothing on them. They have no hills. They have no roads. They have no trees. They have no nothing. But then I've got it, Silent Mouse. Thank you. So I have all the stuff to put on it. And so, like, I'm going to take the Alpha Strike trees and rivers and stuff because they're kind of flat. And so I can put that down as I want on top of the hexes so that I can still play games of hexed Battletech, which I prefer, even though I do want to try Alpha Strike. And then I'll do but yeah, so that, and then like I think my guess on what I need to do to actually make the game playable, because if you're playing regular, I think if you're playing regular Battletech rules, the game would just be so slow, because essentially it's like a 3-foot by 6-foot hex map is the equivalent of like 7 or 8 normal hex maps. And like we normally will play on like 2 to 4 and still go 2 to 3 hours. So so I don't want it to take forever, because it's like, oh, this guy can go 6 hexes. The table is 180 hexes long. I'm not doing that. So my theory at the moment when we play that way is to do oh dang it, I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. My theory is to run basically all movement and all ranges at double. Morning, Tommy. So while I understand your theory, Tommy, about leaving it and coming back in the morning, number one, we are all old. We get one day, we're not coming back in the morning. Number two, like, again, it's more just the size and adjusting so that like the game doesn't take forever. And just saying like 1.5 or 2 times for movement and other ranges. I mean, that's not that different as far as like just everything is double. If it's 12, it's 24. If it's 15, it's 30. You know. But we'll have to play a couple of games to see what seems right. But I mean, there is enough that, I mean, we can play whatever. So but I just got to get the maps printed off. So that we have the hex base, because right now I just have like a regular gaming mat. Which is fine for like everything else, but right. And Silent Mouse, that's correct. Hexless Classic is just double everything. But that's the catch, is it's still going to be hexed Classic instead of Hexless Classic, because I still like hexes. I like being able to count range and do all that stuff. And yes, I will send you some pictures after I end the stream. All right, so anyways, but yeah, so that's gonna be the next game we play once we figure out when we're playing, because one of our players now gets off work late. And so we're going to have to change days, adjust all sorts of things. All right, so this is pre-wash. Overall, I'm actually pretty happy with it. I'm curious to see what the wash is going to do to the copper silver. Yeah, no, I don't have drama between hex versus hexless. It's just how I prefer to play BattleTech. It's just to me, that's what BattleTech is a hex a hex-based game. I realize that there are variants, there are other ways to play, but you know, like I know people really, really like Alpha Strike, but for me, there's a problem with Alpha Strike in the fact that like you lose that granularity, you know, like watching your armor just peel away from the mech. It's amazing. Love it. And so Hexed to me is the same. It's the same kind of thing. You know, it's like that's part of the game. You know, people who like the other part, you know, or the other way to play, that's fine. I'm not trying to take anything away from them. Who knows? Maybe I'll play Alpha Strike and I'll like it more. But that's the thing. I think it's just because I'm getting old, and nostalgia is great. Like y'all see when I because some of you weren't here when I talked about it. You'll see when I post the video about the AD&D Monstrous Compendium. I won't necessarily use it, Very Silent Mouse, but come on, man, you've been here long enough. You know I'm open to any suggestion. I mean, I'll probably try it, but just throw it in chat, man. You don't have to ask if you can I suggest something? Of course, go ahead. Anyways, but like the AD&D Monstrous Compendium, I absolutely picked it up for nostalgia reasons. Like, I don't have any AD&D second edition books. Except the Monstrous Compendium. But when I tell the story in the video that I do about it, it's not even going to be like a deep dive or like, oh, look at this and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's literally just tapping into a memory and I want to tell the story. Like, it was super fun to bring it home and be able to tell the story to my son. All right. This went dark. Like on this mech. I like it. I think I left the wash a little thicker than I normally do. Oh, dang it. That's... I've been forgetting everything. They've got those little spots all over it. I'm going to skip the spots. All right. Cataphract is done. So to get the granularity, roll dice for each damage point. So if it does like 5 points of damage, roll 5 times to see what it does. And I get that. You know, I don't know. We'll see. I have to get to the point where I'm playing a game of Alpha Strike. So
maybe.
But yeah, well,
I will take that under advisement once I play. So,
all right. So I do have to do a couple other things, but I have to let the wash dry, and because I got some stuff going on today, I'm actually gonna bounce. But 90% done with Romano Lio and her cataphract. I like how it came out. The yellow spots. I'm a little annoyed that I missed the light green spots. I was going to use some of this scaly hide for those, but I think I'm just gonna skip them now that I've put the wash on. I don't know. If I do a stream on Monday, maybe I will change my mind. We'll see. But overall, it's good. Yeah, it was, Silent Mouse. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. And I am excited to see what you think of your Mauler. So, thank you, Steven. Like I said, I've got to do the speed paint on the canopy and the lasers, and then I got to paint the base. But otherwise, I like it. So, all right, I have a mech done. I need to go get some sleep. So, hey man, right way up means that things are probably going well. So, or at least better. So, I prefer that. If your gallbladder exploded, yeah, see, so that's not good. That's okay. I got a hernia. We're all having fun. Yay, old. Anyways, I hope you're getting it taken care of. I do hope things are going well for you. Oh, it got better. Good. But yeah, so before I sound like a bigger idiot, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end the stream. You all have a wonderful day. Yeah, right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. And why did that? Sean, I'm about to leave. I'm going to bed. It has been a month. We'll put it that way. So I'm trying to get back into my groove, but it's like August just started. New month, new things. And yes, I do need to talk about that with you guys. I also need to get my brain in a good headspace. It's not in a bad headspace. It's just not in a very good one. So we'll put it that way. All right. I'm gonna keep yammering. You all know how I am. Guys, thank you so much. I hope you're doing well. If you need to, hit me up on Discord. Put a comment in the chat. Whatever you think you need to do. You're always welcome to reach out to me. So yes. All right, I'm gonna end it. All right, it's gonna end awkwardly.